Sometimes exhaustion is your body's way of saying, I can't keep carrying this alone. Hi everyone, welcome back to Heal and Bloom. There's a kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. You go to bed early, you wake up, and you still feel exhausted. Your shoulders feel tight, your body feels heavy, your mind feels foggy, and small decisions feel bigger than it should. Today, I want to talk to you about why your body and your mind may still feel worn out, even when things look calmer on the outside. Being strong for years takes something out of you, and no one really talks about what it takes to rebuild after that. So let's begin. For a long time, staying strong wasn't a personality trait. It was necessary. You stayed steady when things were unstable. You made decisions when no one else would. You kept things moving. You kept people safe. And you kept yourself together. That takes energy. And when you live like that for years, your body adjusts to it. High alert becomes normal. Pushing through becomes automatic. You don't even notice how much you're carrying until things slow down. Living like that for years wears on you, even if you didn't feel it at the time. Sometimes the crash comes after the crisis, when everything finally gets quiet. You begin to notice how tired you actually are. And I remember this in my own life. When I finally enforced my boundaries, things shifted. He stopped calling as much. He stopped stopping by. The unpredictability slowed down, and it got quieter. And I really thought quiet would feel like peace, but instead I just felt exhausted. Drained in a way I couldn't explain. There wasn't the same conflict. There wasn't the same back and forth. But my body didn't feel calm. It felt worn out. And I remember thinking, why am I still this tired? It's not even chaotic anymore. And that confused me. It took time to understand that just because the tension lifted, it didn't mean that my body had caught up yet. I had been bracing for so long, holding so much together. And when I didn't need to do that anymore, that's when I felt how much it actually took out of me. After that, I started noticing something. The quiet didn't just reveal my exhaustion. It revealed grief. Not loud grief, not the kind that makes a scene, just a steady awareness of everything that I was holding together and everything that I lost in the process. Grief for what you had hoped for, grief for what you tolerated, grief for how long you had to survive, and grief for the version of you that tried so hard. Sometimes it looks like fatigue, like brain fog, like wanting to lay down in the middle of the day. Grief has weight to it, and weight makes you tired. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted." This verse always stands out to me. God draws near to people who are hurting. Not performing, not proving, hurting. And maybe that's where you are. When I realized that's where I was, I expected to feel lighter, but I didn't. When things got quiet, I didn't automatically feel peaceful. I felt unsettled. For so long, being needed felt normal. Being strong felt necessary. Being busy kept me distracted. Slowing down meant feeling, and feeling meant facing what I had carried. So even rest felt uncomfortable at first. Matthew 11:28 says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." I had read that verse before, and I always thought of rest as something peaceful, immediate, and calm. I didn't realize sometimes rest starts awkwardly. Sometimes it starts with sitting still long enough to notice how tired you really are. And that kind of rest takes practice because your body doesn't automatically know how to shift from survival to rest. When I actually started practicing that kind of rest, I noticed the tired didn't disappear. That's what happens when you've been running on adrenaline for years, and when it fades, you feel the wear. It wasn't loud, it was steady in my thoughts, in my body, in my motivation, and instead of pushing through it, I had to sit with it. Because when you finally slow down, you start hearing what the exhaustion has been trying to say. Sometimes exhaustion is your body's way of saying, I can't keep carrying this alone, or I need support now, or even, I've been strong for everyone else. I don't know how to let myself soften. You've been holding a lot for a long time, and bodies don't forget that quickly. Strength helped you survive. But healing asks for something different. It asks you to rebuild what survival drained, and rebuilding takes time. You're tired right now, so slow down enough to notice it, not to judge it, not to fix it immediately, just to acknowledge it. Maybe this week, instead of asking, why am I so weak? You ask, what have I been carrying? Maybe you let yourself rest without feeling like you deserve it first. Maybe you lower the standard a little. Maybe you ask for help once instead of pushing through it again. Maybe you give your body one small moment of quiet and call that enough. You don't have to rebuild everything at once. You just have to stop pretending that you're not tired. Until next time, please take care. And remember, being tired is not something you need to apologize for. It may mean that you've been strong for a very long time and you deserve the rest. Bye.